Hello everybody, welcome back to the Benji the Bobcat channel. I have already commentated on this video and I am completely redoing it. I totally messed up. I recorded it, I commentated on it, and I was happy with it. And I was only like halfway through, so I had stopped the recording and then I was going to continue it. And when I continued it, the recording started back again at the beginning of the video right here instead of where I left off, so it recorded over what I had just recorded. So I'm redoing the commentary. I'm learning how to do this editing and everything with this. It's kind of foreign to me, and I haven't edited in years, so bear with me if anything's messed up. But also there may be a few lulls where there's not really a lot of action going on. I noticed a couple times, and I can't cut it out now, unfortunately, where I'm talking to my dad explaining something just for like maybe 10-15 seconds. But I tried for the most part to edit all of those parts out. But if you see a section where it's going slow, just move your timeline up a little bit, and you'll be able to see where we resume. But those times, there's just probably a couple, and they're probably only 10 or 15 seconds long. But I'm going to be commentating over our gameplay. This is my dad, and he came down this past weekend, and we played Saturday and Sunday, and had a nice weekend of playing pool. We've been playing for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 months now. Usually every Sunday. And my dad had not played for years, probably, I don't know, 30 years. And he was really rusty the first several weeks, but he's doing a lot better. And he was a really good, really solid pool player when I was growing up. He's the one that actually taught me how to play when I was 6 years old. Excuse me. And we would play in the basement. We just had a small bar-sized table, and so he taught me how to play, and that's how I learned. But he was pretty rusty when we started, but playing every week here, he's been getting a lot better. And you'll see I stopped to talk to him and explain maybe where the cue ball's going to go after he hits a ball and things like that. And I try to fast forward or just completely cut out most of those parts. But I'm going to give you just a little background on my pool playing history. Like I said, I learned from my dad when I was really young. And I did play quite a bit when I was young, and we would also go, every Friday night, we would go to a place in Canton, Ohio called Hall of Fame Lanes. It was a bowling alley. But they had really nice 9-foot tables in the bowling alley. They had like a center island, and I don't know, they had 6 or 7 9-foot tables. So we would go there every Friday, and I just remember the bowling leagues would be going on, and we would play pool for a few hours. So I grew up playing on our small table at home, but mostly 9-foot tables. And then when I got out of high school and went to college, of course I moved out of the house then, and I went to Kent State, and we did have a pool hall on campus. Actually, we had 2 pool halls on the Kent State campus. So I played there a lot, and then also I liked to get in tournaments, so I played at 2 other places. One was in Canton, and the other was in Akron. The one in Canton was called Baldy's Billiards, and it's no longer there. The one in Akron called Starchers is no longer there either. But I played at Baldy's, and Baldy's was just kind of an old building. Really reminded you just of an old pool hall, and really really smoky. The smoke, I remember just coming, hovering in the air above the tables. But just a cool atmosphere. And I swear it was like a mafia place because they had gambling. They had a back room and they had gambling back there, and they'd always post a lookout on the front door. And after I got to know Baldy and I played there for a long time, I would play at that first table and watch the door while I was playing. Just open the door, crack the door open, and check to see if anybody was coming, and let them know if anybody was coming. But it was just fun times, and played a lot of great pool there, a lot of great people. And then I also played at Starchers in Akron, and that was a really nice pool hall. It was open 24 hours, and they actually had a pro tournament there every year called the Shamrock Open, and so I always got to see, Johnny Archer, Earl Strickland, all the big names. And that was a lot of fun. And there were a lot of really good players that played at Starchers every single night. And guys that would play one pocket all night long, just about every night of the week. And I missed a lot of classes at Kent State because I was playing pool all night long. But at that time, I felt the best players were there at nighttime. And I wanted to learn and get better and better and better. So that's what I did. I played a lot of pool there. Unfortunately, both of those places closed. And now, for the last several years, I've played at another place in Canton, Ohio, called Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks is an awesome pool hall. The owner is a pro, Chris. Great guy. He's a great player. And I remember the first few times I went in there, and I saw Chris play like the first time I went in. He's always playing on the middle table, and I would just watch him, and I knew he was. I finally got to know he was the owner, but you can tell when somebody's a really good player. And I went up and introduced myself after the second or third time, and I asked him if he gave lessons. And he was just like, yeah. He was just, whenever you come in. And so we set up a day or whatever, just really informally. And he helped me out and didn't even charge me anything. And he worked with me for like, I don't know, an hour or two. I don't remember. But he spent a lot of time and worked on the one main thing that's helped my game so much that Chris taught me was my pre-shot routine. I didn't have one at that point when I first met him. I just got up there and went up to the ball and shot. And I learned from what he taught me how important a pre-shot routine is. And you stand back and look at the shot, look where the cue ball's going to go. If you need to, walk around the table. And then, I have a routine that I do every shot now. And it doesn't take a long time, it doesn't waste time, but I do that with every shot, and it's organized my game and improved my game so much, just that one thing. So, a pre-shot routine. And I'll talk about that in a video in the future here. And actually, I am going to write that down so I remember, because that was one of the best things that I've been taught. Pre-shot routine. And he taught me a lot of other things too, but that was the main thing that I got out of that lesson with Chris. And then we would play, when I would go in, and I learned a lot. I've learned a lot from Chris over the years. And I actually worked at Fiddlesticks for about, I don't know if it was a year or two, but I worked the door checking people's IDs. And my thinking at that point was, I can work here and play a lot of pool because I'll be up here a lot. Well, it didn't work out that way. I was in there for so many hours. When I was done working, I never felt like playing pool. It's just like you hear that with mechanics or people in other jobs. They work on cars all day, and they don't feel like working on their own cars when their cars have a problem. So I had to stop working there because I wasn't playing pool. I was just working at the pool hall and then not playing pool. But I've enjoyed it, and now I play at home mostly. I got my table about 3 weeks ago, and I've been playing pretty much every single day. And oh, that was a good shot. I'm going to be commentating on this video here in a second. But yeah, I've been playing on my table at home right here, the Diamond 9-foot Blue Label, and I love it. It's awesome. And having my own table at home, I can play every day. I can play when I want to. I don't have to think about driving 45 minutes to get to Canton and then playing for a few hours and then making that drive all the way home again. And so I don't have that to think about. I can go downstairs and practice for as many hours as I want. I've been practicing about between 4 and 6 hours a day, and I'm seeing some improvements. I think it's gonna take a while, but my goal is to be able to get back into some bigger tournaments on a 9-foot table, which means I also have to do some traveling because where I live there's really not any places with 9-foot tables. I think Fiddlesticks is the closest place, but I'd like to do some traveling around the state and even to different states to play in tournaments again.
My shot? Yeah.
So, enough of that talking, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of my pool history. And when I was young and in college, I got in a lot of tournaments. I played a lot at Starchers and some places around Ohio. But, yeah. So this video, like I said, my dad was over and we played Saturday and Sunday and had a lot of good games. And you'll see I'll be explaining something here and there to him about where the cue ball's gonna go and stuff like that. And he knows about English, and I'm talking about it. Low right, low left, high right, high left. But I always tell people that are just starting out, just worry about making the ball when you're first starting out playing pool. Worry about making the shot, and using English and that kind of stuff. That will just come, and learn shot making first, and then work on English and where you're going to leave the cue ball after your shot. Kind of steps, just baby steps. My dad made a really good shot on this 7 ball. He actually made a really good. Yeah, he had a good shot on that. Good leave on the 3. I don't remember. Oh, I remember. Yeah, he just was off a little bit. He made all those good shots and then just one little mind slip and he was off. And I have a pretty good run here with a surprise at the end that I was not happy with, that you'll see in a minute. But this one I just put a little top spin to get onto that 14 on the right rail. And then I'll just, I believe, put a little bit of low left and try and avoid that ball behind the 14. I can't tell because my screen I'm looking at is so small. I can't tell what balls a lot of them are. But yeah, that's what I did. Luckily, I'll miss that ball. And I believe that's the 13. I'm not straight in, but I have enough room to stop this ball for the 11 in the left corner. Or slow it down and stop it before. So I have a shot on that ball. Yep. And then the next ball I'll take after this 11 is the one there on the right side pocket. And I will want to be pretty straight on that ball, so I can just follow it forward to make the next ball on that right rail in the bottom right corner.
I don't know.
And this is one of those shots where you know I wouldn't want to be I wouldn't want the cue ball to be at that top end up there and have too much of an angle, because then I'd have to try and come down to this bottom rail and back up. So I want to be as straight as possible, so I can just follow it forward. And another thing Chris taught me was do as little with the cue ball as you can. Keep it as simple as possible, the movement on the cue ball. And so I think about that a lot when I'm shooting. This one, I pretty much just, I have a little bit of an angle, so I'm going to need to stop it and take it off of that rail a little bit. That. Now I've got the 9 to put in this pocket closest to us where we're watching, and my thought was I'll just stun it, hit the cue ball with center English, and it'll hit that one ball and just maybe travel forward an inch or so. But that's not what happens. I should have played topspin and just rolled the cue ball forward off of the bottom rail and then the left rail probably. Instead, I hit it in the center, and I may have hit it a little bit low even, and it knocked it back behind that 4 ball. So I'm completely snookered, and I don't have a jump stick. My jump stick is getting a new tip right now. So I have a short stick, but it's not a jump cue, and I'm not able to get it to move off the table at all here. It's just, I was just ticked that I made that shot on the 9.
Oh, it was a good run up to that.
Not happy at this point, because I had a good run, but I think he runs. No, I think he runs
that
1
is
and
practice.
3 here.
Doing it.
And you'll see I'm explaining
in the center.
hit that cue ball with center
Bounce here.
and bring it straight up the table for the 3 ball next in the same pocket.
Perfect.
And he did it perfectly.
I think. Oh, it's straight, isn't it?
And
It was off a little bit. Put it off the rail, but I don't know.
I don't know if he has much of an angle, but I would probably just be putting backspin, taking it off that rail, back out to the center of the table. And I'm standing in front of the camera. And somehow he didn't hit it right, and the cue ball just stayed down there, leaving him a really long
See
shot.
what I mean, though, about
But he's starting to think about, you know, where that cue ball is going to go and to be on the next ball. He has a nice little run here. Plays a 2 ball off that rail. He has a 3 ball next. And I believe I explained what he needs to do
you can hit low and just bring it
to
straight off of that
make
top
this,
rail,
hit
or
the
high
ball
and come off
a little
the
bit
rail.
low and take it off of that top rail, and it'll come straight down for the 4. And he could have shot the 7 or the 4 here.
Huh?
But, you know, if he shot the 7, he would have had to.
Just had to hit it harder.
Yeah.
There was too much of an angle. He would have had to come down to the bottom rail, and that 8 ball's
you
in the
could have
way.
done what
So
you did there.
the better
That's
choice was the
probably what
4
I've
ball.
done, or
I think that's what I'm
topspin,
explaining
and it would've
here.
hit that one, and then this rail and came back.
Oh no, we're playing 9 ball. I'm sorry. He has to take the 4. I was thinking we were playing 8 ball. I'm pretty sure we're playing 9 ball.
Oh, that's the 9.
Yeah, he has to take the 4. So, I don't remember what he does here. Yeah, what I had explained to him was hit the ball low, middle, a little bit lower than middle, so that cue ball would have gone straight, right there where I'm putting my stick, it would have gone straight over to that rail and back, but he actually hit above center, and so that cue ball came forward when it came off of that rail. So that gave him a lot longer of a shot. But these are just things that you learn with more practice.
Oh, nice.
He made a great shot there.
That would have
He
came
ran
right back.
5 or 6 balls there. I think 6.
You had a good shot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the edits that I
I
missed.
wouldn't be.
So you can
You're-
fast forward it if you want a little bit. It's just probably
No.
10, 15, 20
Yeah,
seconds,
make
but not too long. It was just it wasn't that long.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that
then
was
he
a
just
shot.
misjudged that a little bit.
Tough shot.
And I take care of these last 2 balls.
Yeah, I wanted the cue ball to come all the way down here,
Mm-hmm.
so you didn't have that shot you just made.
Yeah.
And we move on to the next rack. You might hear my dog walking in the background. I have hardwood floors and her claws. Sounds like somebody tap dancing as she's walking. Next game is 8 ball. Yeah, I think this kind of goes back and forth between 8 ball and 9 ball, so I'm going to have to pay attention so I know what I'm talking about. I don't remember a lot of these games, even though it was just 2 days ago. I'm not sure what he's saying here. It looks like a 3 ball. Yeah, 3 ball combination. He actually hit that good and broke up that 1-5. And he'll take the 1 next, and I don't know where he's going to take the cue ball. Maybe the 6 next. Oh, he was trying to put backspin for the 5 next. He left a pretty steep angle, but still makeable. Oh, he's going for the 3 on the side. And just missed. I think I have a decent run here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. And I did leave some mistakes that I made just so that I can explain, so you guys see some mistakes, and that way it might help you learn what, on a shot what you did wrong. I just followed that one a little bit forward for this ball in the top left corner. I think I'm just going to stop this one for that ball. Yep, in the side. Take it to the right side. I think I have a little bit of an angle here, so I'll probably just hit it low and let it... Oh no, I put backspin and bring it back to the rail. Yeah. Off the rail for that 14 in the bottom right corner. Now you see I have a stripe there up against, I believe that's the 4 ball. I can't see because my screen's so small. But I need to break those up right here, and I do a pretty good job of that. This backspin. Played low left. And that opened that ball up. Now my run is just straightforward. And I can take the 12 on the side. Since I opened that one up. Got a little bit of an angle, so I'll just put backspin and bring it down a few inches for the 12, or 15 maybe. I don't know, 13. And I'll just play this middle and let it bounce off the rail a few inches or a foot. And this one I can, I have to get past that, looks like the 3 ball in the middle of the table, right where my stick is there. I want the cue ball to travel along that line. So I'll hit this with low right, just below center. Fairly firm, I hit that, and I hit that pretty much perfect. So that was a pretty decent run. Alright, now these last few clips for the last 10 minutes are just some nice shots that either of us made, or a couple nice runouts. I think he made 3 or 4 balls here. And it had a nice shot there, stopped it for the 2. He's going to go down to the bottom of the table and then come back up for the 6 in that top right corner. That was a good shot. And I believe the 6 is the last he made in this sequence, so it'll cut right off after this shot. This game, I remember I had a nice run out. It was a little bit complicated because the ball on that on the right, in front of the right side pocket there, which I could have made it here and I could make it another time, but it was just not possible to get. I was trying to get on it there, but I'm just at a bad angle, so I have to change my plans and what ball I'm going to shoot at a couple times during this run. And that happens a lot when you're wanting to shoot a certain ball and you have to change plans. I tried to get on it there again, but I just rolled too far. I was at a better angle that time, but I just hit it a little too hard. This one I hit it pretty decent, but it hit that 14 and messed my leave up to get on the 5. But I'm actually going to take the 5 here because I don't have an angle on that. I can't see what that ball is on the side pocket. I don't have an angle on that ball to be able to get to the 5 next. So I take the 5 first and then take the cue ball off of that top rail and back down for that ball. I chose the harder shot, but it was what I had to do to get position. And you have to do that a lot of times. Pick the harder shot first. Or take the harder shot instead of the easier shot. I'm thinking about this one so much because I was still at a weird angle, and I had to kind of really cheat the pocket here to get the cue ball to actually go left. And then I think I make the 8 ball. Oh, that was in fast motion. Okay. I believe I have a nice run here. I did skip forward because we missed a few shots on this one. But I have a nice shot to make this 2 in that top left corner. And that 3 is just impossible. It's on the rail. I can't make it in the side. So I decided to break it off, break it out to get it off the rail there. And I did. And now I can make it in this bottom left-hand corner. I was really happy with that shot. This one I'll just hit low and bring it across to that far right rail and back over for the 5. Now I'll just hit this low just to take it off of the rail and bring the cue ball out to the middle of the table for the 6. And I can, I have an angle here, so I'm going to have to take the cue ball to the rail and just back out a foot or so. Yep. And then just hit center of the ball, bring the cue ball back up the table. Just a nice little run. Oh, this is just one single shot in this clip. I tried to make the 9. I put a ton of backspin on it. Should have went in. That 9 ball was right in the pocket. I didn't understand why it went in, why it didn't go in. And my dad had a nice bank shot here. And then this is the last clip of the video. I believe it's a run out. And that ball just barely fits through there to the top right corner. And then I'll take the, what is that? 10, I believe. Can't tell. Take it to the top left and come back out to the, I hit the 3, back out to the center. Take the 12 to the top left. And just backspin for the 11. But you see I knocked that 14 over to the rail, which leaves it in a pretty bad spot because that 6 is blocking it. So I'm going to make this 11 in that top left corner and use top left English to come off of that left rail and then over to the side as close as I can to the rail to be able to make that 14. This is a shot you really have to be good with your speed on and I was happy with that shot. And this one I'm just going to back it up for the 9 ball in the corner towards us. Back it up about 6 inches. And I don't remember how I get on the 8 ball here, but I either go 2 rails or just 1 rail in between the 3 and the 6. That 8 ball is kind of just in a tough spot to get a good leave on it. Looks like I put top right and went 2 rails. Just squeaked by there. So I had 2 pretty decent shots in that run to make this happen. And that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the longer videos, or if you like shorter videos. And any comments that you have, please make them questions. And oh, I missed that. Wow. And I made the 8 ball and scratched.